How's it going? Welcome to this short video in the Future Marketing Masters series, and I'm with Phil, obviously the guy that provides, or one of the people that provides all the NLP stuff, and we're going to fuse the NLP with the digital marketing side of things in this little video. We're here at the UK Centre of Excellence, where the Future Marketing Masters live event is going to be, and where we're going to look at how we can create an income and create version U 2.0. You know, create a residual income online and just have more freedom, more fortune and more fulfillment in life. What I want to talk about really is this idea of creating something that's really deep, that keeps you going, you know, it keeps you working when things seem to be going wrong all the time. When, you know, you think, bloody hell, I've got this last £10, what am I going to invest it in and what's going to give me the best results and all this kind of stuff. And I'm talking about a deep-rooted desire. You know, people need to find a deep-rooted desire about who they're going to be a hero to, okay? And if you can work that out, if you can decide who it is that you're going to provide value, okay, and that value obviously comes with an exchange. You provide value to somebody, the value must come back. It's one of those laws in life, you know, that will bring the money to you, okay? So that's what we're going to explore in this little video. And I think I'm right in saying that Phil's got a great little analogy, great story. We love stories. Stories sell, you know what I mean? I think the saying is facts tell, stories sell. Okay, so always remember that as one of your little marketing things there. So, Phil, what you got for us?
Well, before I tell the story, actually, I've got a little one as well that I use with NLP courses, and it's a picture paints 1,000 words, but a story paints 1,000 pictures. So if you've got a good story, you can really enrich in what you're trying to teach. And I think the story that I'm going to tell does just that actually. So. It's about three people in it. So the first guy is called Samuel Pierpont Langley, who lived turn of the century, and we're going to talk about a period in 1903. And the second is two guys called Orville and Wilbur. Now, Samuel Pierpont Langley was in 1903 or 02 was given $50,000 by the US government. Now would be quite a lot of money. 1902 or 3, it's just an incredible amount. He was given all of the resources of every scientific mind that he needed in all of America. Harvard University threw all their support behind his project, and he had a massive team. The New York Times followed him wherever he went in the pursuit of this goal. And then you've got these two guys, Orville and Wilbur, who own a bike shop. They've got no degree. They've got no real academic sort of background, but they've got a vision and they've got a dream. And what they did on the 17th of December, 1903, will always be remembered. But hardly anyone even remembers the name Samuel Pierpont Langley. So Orville and Wilbur were the Wright brothers, and they had a bike shop, and there was only 50 people there to see, on the 17th of December, the first man-powered flight. Those 50 people that were there were customers of their bike shop that had been invested in, given them savings, given them money in the pursuit of this dream. Now, what happened with Samuel Pierpont Langley, the day after the Wright brothers had their first flight, is he gave up, sacked it all off because he wasn't the first. And there's a disconnect there, and the reason it disconnected is the Wright brothers had a dream, they had passion. They had a goal and a vision that they wanted to go to. They didn't have resources, they didn't have academia, but what they did have was this drive to try and create it. If Pierpont Langley had achieved the flight, they still would have carried on until they'd done it because they wanted to fly. Now, the fact that he gave up meant that he was just after fame, money. Everyone that worked for him was working for a paycheck. Everyone that worked with the Wright brothers believed in the Wright brothers. So when you start a business, when you start as a digital marketer, you know, there are going to be times when you might have your back against the wall. You might be down to your last £100 or £10 even. But if you've got that deep-rooted desire that you talk about, that passion, that desire to succeed will always come out in the end. And it's done that from the Wright brothers in 1903 all the way through the century. You know, Pixar Studios, with Apple, you know, all of these companies were driven by one person or a group of people's sort of beliefs. And if you've got that desire, people will buy into it, people will follow you, and you have to communicate that desire. And I think that's what Pierpoint Langley couldn't do. He couldn't get people to buy into him. They were just buying into their paychecks.
There's another saying, isn't there? So stand for something, otherwise you'll fall for everything. You know, it's about just setting your stall out and going for it. And I'm a believer that actually that is the first part, because I think you can have if your idea is crap, you can have the deepest desire you want, but ultimately you can't sell your product. And we're going to go in future videos, going to talk about how do you create that product that everybody wants, and to make sure you don't fall flat in the face. But having that deep-rooted desire is exactly, it's the starting point. It's where everything should begin from. You should actually, you should always try and remember that when the times get tough and what have you. So there's a great video actually online. There's a really good one called How to Start a Movement, and I think it's a TED Talk similar to Phil's TED Talk, who's, having presented their own TED Talk before. But basically, it goes on and it sort of says, the most important thing about the movement, it's not necessarily the guy that comes up with the idea. The most important person is actually the first person to follow, because that then starts a whole chain reaction of other people. So I suppose when the Wright brothers were putting their little idea together and going, okay, we're gonna crack this first manned flight. Who's with us? Yeah. A few people, would have been like, are you mad? This guy's got $50,000 US, all the technology and everything that he could ever need. Why would we have to follow you? But the one thing, so rationally you'd probably think, okay, not a chance. And I suppose the irrational brain kicks in. It's like that. Well, it doesn't matter. There's a chance, because this guy's got passion and drive, and if nothing else, it's going to be an absolute train wreck on the way, and it's going to be good to watch. And I really believe in this, or whatever. And I think people get hold of that in a deeper way. You know what I mean? Like mentally get more involved. They've got the ability to get more involved and invested in it. So
take the original story of Langley and the Wright brothers, and move now to marketing. So specifically digital marketing. And I'm sure plenty of people, and certainly I do, that have had their $50,000 or £10,000, and they've spent an incredible amount of money on trying to learn how to do the technical side of being a digital marketer. They've thrown as much money at the wall as they possibly can, but they're still not quite getting the results. They're still sort of thinking, when's this going to happen for me? How much money would they have invested in themselves in terms of getting their mindset right, understanding about, getting into a positive mindset, becoming focused, becoming driven, having a real vision like the Wright brothers. Because when you've got that mindset, that winning mindset, people buy into people. Hitler got everyone in Germany to buy into him because of who he was. People bought into him as a person. People then bought into Churchill from our side because of the way they led. People don't buy into money. They might be attracted to it, they might want it, but they don't follow it blindly. So if you can communicate your desire and your passion as a marketer, then you will be successful. And that's what we're going to try and develop with people, is understanding that you have to get the picture right inside your brain before you can project that outside to the outside world.
Real good wisdom from Phil there. If you want to go deeper on this, then make sure you get yourself over to futuremarketingmasters.com. There's a whole load of podcasts up there where we talk about stuff like this week in, week out, and you can learn some great stuff. And if you want to go even deeper than that, then make sure you check out the Academy, which is our online sort of platform for teaching you digital marketing, obviously the mindset that goes along with that. And you can access that by going to the academy.website, and that's plain as it gets. Until the next video, take care.